when you talk there about realizing that ego was almost getting in the way, so to speak, was that a self-realization, or was some really wonderful people around you brave enough to say, "Hey, Nick, you know"?
It was both. I think it was a little bit of a self-realization, though, because a lot of this was just thoughts or things that I would only confide in the people really closest to me. So, you know, my friend Ilyos, who's kind of been with me since day one, he's my best friend. He really knows me, and so a few others. But you know, I've been pretty crazy over the years, and I'm very. I take the game home with me, and that's a tough thing when you're a poker player. And I just sort of decided I don't want to be this way anymore, because poker is a pretty long-term kind of endeavor, and I would love to retain just a bit of kind of mental sort of balance and just normalcy, if that's a thing even. This is probably 3 to 5 years ago, I'd say, is when I really started to just want to really change. And honestly, it took a lot of time. I mean, you know, a lot of these changes, I just know they happened inside. Like, they're not so blatant, and I still have my, like, it's not like I'm like some Zen, you know, but I'm getting there. And you know, again, like I'm never trying to lose sight of just the things that I'm grateful for. And it's cliche and it's like oversaid, but it's a big one. It's a nice thing to try to pursue.
And did those life changes transfer to the poker table, did you notice?
Absolutely. Anytime you're trying to kind of see things for what they are, remain objective and remain clear-headed, and the diminishment of ego, or that kind of chip on your shoulder, or you know, nobody really, this world doesn't really owe anybody anything. You know, it's just not that way. I mean, there are some bad runs we endure as players, and I know that feeling, and I've handled it poorly many times, but yeah, just remaining thankful for, you know, we're still here, you know, and there's still a lot of good things. Yeah, it changed me. I mean, I think part of it probably is just getting a little older too, and just maturing a bit, maybe.
One of my life leaks is always telling my wife that she's trying to control me.
Right. Well, yeah. No, I hear you on that one. You know, it's maybe she, you know.
I should finish that sentence by saying that she's not.
Right.
The point was.
But I know what you mean.
Yeah. I mean, I jumped on a podcast and asked some cognitive behavioral therapist to therapize me for 3 hours on that.
Wow.
And I learned a great deal from that, and I realized that I was creating all of my own pain, which was a life-changing moment for me.
Yeah.
When you were going through your troubles and coming out of that about 5 years ago, what were the tools? Because it's very difficult, isn't it, to just switch and change. What was happening? Was you reading? Was you getting coached? Was you seeking therapy?
I did a lot of reading. I've been in and out of therapy for a really long time. The classics of just sort of exercise and a kind of mindful diet is nice. You feel a little better about yourself in general. But yeah, it's a lot of just introspection and kind of just self sort of analysis to just, at a point, I think just repetitive kind of behaviors that I just knew if I could remove myself from myself and just be a fly on the wall, I don't want to be this person. I don't know what set in to think in those terms, to kind of just really sort of try to behave like the person you want to be as a player, as a person away from the table. And it wasn't like a switch went on where now I was going to change. It's just been a process, but yeah, I don't know exactly when it started, and I know it's not even an official thing. It's kind of a journey, but it's definitely helped me quite a bit at the poker table, and it's just a nicer way to live, to be thankful for where you're at.